Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Engager Live. This week's webinar all about proposals. If everyone can just confirm in the comments that they can see and hear me, let's make sure the technology is working, shall we? Hello, yes, all good, fantastic. I mean, anyone would think professionals would have probably done a sound check before we went live, and we did, if I'm honest, but it's always good to get you guys all talking. Wonderful. Okay, so what is quite clear from this is there is a lot of you here with a lot of questions and a lot of things to say, which is fantastic. So here's how today's going to work. I'm going to take you through Proposals Plus. Before we do that, a bit of housekeeping. This session is being recorded and it will go into the Help Center once the recording is finished processing by the powers of Zoom. If you guys have got any questions throughout the session today, can I ask that you put them into the Q&A box? So along the bottom, there's a speech bubble with a question mark in it and Q&A written underneath that. Put your questions in there for me so that I can see them. Andy T is in the background. He's keeping things tidy in the comments and stuff. He will tell you if you've put a question in the wrong place and tell you to put it in the right place, and he'll share any links and stuff we need to share. If the plan is that we'll answer all the questions by the end of today, and some of those will be answered by Andy T typing an answer to you. Some of them will be answered by me live in my spiel, and then I'll do Q&A at the end to make sure I mop up the rest of the things. So yeah, there's 360 of you on this call already. So it's going to be a busy session. So we're going to do our utmost to make sure that we are as prompt with this and get through all the stuff as quickly as possible. First of all, what I'd like to do is establish our current position. So currently, and while we do this, while I talk about this, I'm actually going to launch a poll. So what I'd like you to do is just tell us what you're using for proposal solution at the moment. So currently in Engager for the last 3 years, since the beginning, basically, Engager has always had a letter of engagement tool, and it's always had a very comprehensive pricing tool that's more comprehensive and intelligent in a way than any other pricing tool on the market. So even the market leading best in class pricing tools could only do 3 or 5 pricing indicators in their equation. We can do unlimited, and we've always been able to do that. What we've then done is then we had our letter of engagement, and then the feedback very much was, look, we love the letter of engagement. We love the pricing. We'd like the letter of engagements to look nicer. So we launched our document editing tool, which allows you to create your own headers and footers. It creates nice front pages and stuff. So that's all fantastic. And now what we've done is we've gone one step further, and we've introduced, or are going to introduce, a proposal element. So today I'm going to take you through that journey. But also on top of that journey, we've already got things like client signs a letter of engagement. They can sign up to a direct debit mandate immediately. They'll be able to sign up to the client portal immediately. So we've always got a nice onboarding session. It's the onboarding process. This is another element at the earlier in. So I'll take you through all of that. Thank you very much, though, for completing the poll. So that's some really interesting to see. So like half of you are using Engage already. Lots don't use proposals. So, 54 of you there. That'll be interesting to see what you're going to do in the end. And it's always good to see what everyone else is using. So thank you very much for that. So if I click back there. Cool. On top of that, what we'd also like to quickly understand is obviously our next big announcement will be tax calc integration in the coming weeks. So what we'd also like to understand is who uses tax calc or who uses what for their compliance software. So this is accounts and tax returns. What are you using at the moment? And would you like tax calc to hear from tax calc? Not necessarily about the integration, but more about what they do with what their softwares can and can't do for your firm at the moment, plus what we've got a opportunity going forwards for the integration. And there'll be a lot more in the coming weeks about the integrations and stuff as well for you. So yeah, fantastic. Nick would like to know if we can see the results for the polls. I've already closed one of the polls, so I can't show you that one, Nick, but I will show you this result, yes. Cool. Okay, I think that's everybody. So I'll end that poll and I can show you the results of that. So yeah, the vast majority of you using TaxCalc already. Zero tax. I'm not overly surprised by the strength of that. Followed by Iris, followed by all sorts of other bits. Fantastic. And 100 of you would like to hear from TaxCalc, which is amazing. So I will get that. I'll get your details passed on to TaxCalc so they can reach out to you, basically. Cool. Right. So here we go. Let's get into the meat of it, shall we? So if I stop sharing that, go back there, just make sure I'm set up my polls. Okay, so let me share my screen with you and I will jump into this for you. And that one. Okay, so as I say, today is all about Proposal Plus. So what I'm going to do before I go into the nitty gritty of how you can do all of these document templates and design, I'm going to show you the end result that we're aiming for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into a client and I'm going to go to Dragon Retail Limited. So this client's already in here. They're linked to Xero, they're linked to Adfin, etc. I've already been in and I've added some services that are annual, quarterly, and monthly. What I want to do is I want to send them a proposal and letter of engagement. So you've got this new option here, proposal, letter of engagement, and disengagement. And the first time you do this, if there's no letter of engagement already in here, if there is from like ones that you've got there today, they'll be here, that's fine. But if it's a brand new client, you're going to get this, looks like you haven't generated one yet. So we click on create your first document. You've got three options here. Do I want a proposal with a letter of engagement once the proposal's been agreed? Do I want just a letter of engagement? Because we understand not everyone wants to send proposals and they're actually here to see what advancements there are in a letter of engagement. Or do we want a letter of disengagement? Okay, which we can already do in Engager. It's just a new menu option here. So we're going to go with proposal. Okay, and then I'm going to click create. So the system's now taking all of our pre-designed templates and stuff that we've already built and putting this together. This is kind of the end goal of what's going to happen. Okay, so now I've got a slightly different look to what you guys are used to. Normally there'd be a PDF image here and a PDF image here, but we've replaced that because we're now going to have this audit log. So for example, if I mark this one as void, and if I say new and create a new one, here we go, nearly done. You can now see, right, this one was voided. There's a status. This one's in draft. Nice and easy for everyone to see. Okay, so I can see a proposal and I can see my letter of engagement. I can see the decision is pending for the proposal as it is for the letter of engagement. And I can see last viewed. So this is new. You're now going to be able to see when the client viewed your letter of engagement or your proposal. So if I've viewed it right now, it will have the date and the time. If I view it again in an hour's time, it updates with the latest viewing times. And this is what a proposal will look like. So I'll view it first. So you, as per usual, with the letter of engagement, everything, you're going to be able to design your own front covers. You're going to be able to design the top and the bottom of your headers and footers. And you've got templates that will add as much information in here as you like. As you can see, so we've got a bit of a welcome to my practice, a Trustpilot review if you want customer reviews in here. Then we've added some key pricing factors here that I want to share my clients so they understand how I've come up with the pricing. I've then listed the services that we're going to offer them and the fees. And as per usual, you can have your hourly, your weekly, your monthly, quarterly, your annual fees here. And then there's a follow-up section about what happens next. Now, I'm really excited to see what you guys launch here, because this is a very blank canvas for you to build out your own. Like, I've done a lot of research over the last week and how I've built in my firm's one. So, I've got a Teams page, like meet the leadership team and meet the client managers. So it's a very blank canvas. Like, we've given you enough to get started, but you can do whatever you like here. Okay, so that's how this all looks. And then I can press send if I want to. And as you can see, I've got a status. So if that was been viewed, it would be a blue box saying viewed, date and time. Now, one of the problems we had is, how do we edit it? Okay, because if we edited the old letter of engagement, it started and then we regenerated, it would cause a right headache. So now I've got an edit option and I can choose what I'm editing. So I can edit my proposal and my letter of engagement here. And if I go backwards, I can do my drop down. I can add text here. I can do my drop down. I can add text here. Catch-up fees. In this example, it's turned off because the system knows there aren't any catch-up fees. So that's dynamic, just like it was in your letter of engagement. And then you can edit all these pages. So once you edit these and press save, that's it. But then you can go back and edit it again, and it will remember the edits you made last time. It won't overwrite everything. There's no need to regenerate anymore. Okay. And then once you're done, you can press send. You can also accept it manually, decline it manually, or mark it as void. Once it's sent, it will change. So if I send this, I'm not going to offer a direct debit mandate this time. I'll press send. So that's sent, new status, sent. Okay. Once that's seen, if someone views it, they will be able to, the status will update to viewed and the last time. And when they accept it or decline it, they can add comments, which is why we've got a comment section here. This is the thing. Okay, so this is what the end result is. What I will do now is I'll quickly go through some questions before we go into the detail for the next part of the session of how we get to this point. Okay. Okay, so when a proposal is accepted, will it automatically be saved to the client's file? Simon, not at the moment. That will come at a later point. If we wanted to do that, that was going to delay this build even further. So we just wanted to make sure we had this part out. Remember, when a client accepts a letter of engagement and or a proposal in Engager, they are emailed a PDF of both the proposal and the letter of engagement. So they do have a copy for their records. Ian says, I do not have an option for quotes. Is this coming? Yeah, Ian, this isn't released yet. This is me taking you through everything ready for the release. So this is all what's coming. Simon, when is this live? It is coming very, very soon. Video, David, not a priority. Can we add videos to the proposal? We can't use in the current text editor at the moment and PDF generator because ultimately this is a PDF. So if I exported this as a PDF, it wouldn't play that video. It would be a screen grab. So there are limitations there. What you could do is add a video to your email that talks them through things. Is it possible to show one-off fees, not just monthly, annual? Yes, exactly as it works today, guys. So if I wanted to just have a one-off fee, it would be in there. So we've always had that functionality for the last 3 years. So that's still there. If we add a new service, do we have to turn existing services off and then once sent, add the old existing services back on? Yes, you do at the moment. We bill VAT and bookkeeping by transaction number. Will it cope with this? Our letters of engagement have been doing that for 3 years, Angela. It's not a problem. Like our pricing tools had that for 3 years. All we're changing here is adding another layer of glossy salesman-y brochure without all the legal mumbo jumbo that is in letters of engagement. Does pressing the send both documents, or is it a workflow proposal? So once I press send, that sends the proposal. Once they've agreed to that, we then bring up the letter of engagement straight in front of them. And then once they've agreed to that, they go to do their admin integration if you want it, or and then create their client a password for their client portal. Yes, so does it send proposal and LEO as one pack? Yes, so you send the email with the link, the client clicks the link, we show the proposal. They don't sign it and they don't do anything. Next time they click the link, it shows them the proposal. Once they've accepted the proposal, it takes them through to the letter of engagement. Is there an option to send out a renewal without a letter of engagement? No. A renewal should be a letter of engagement because it's a legal contract. A proposal is just an outline of, here's what we're looking to do for you. Okay, there's no legally binding agreement there. It's a quote. That's it. The letter of engagement is a legal document that is contracting you to deliver the services and them to provide you the information, etc. So you should always send a letter of engagement, not just a proposal. So if you're just doing a renewal, in my firm, we won't send a proposal, we'll just send a letter of engagement. Can a proposal be sent to multiply, let's say, more than 3 directors all at once? So what you can do is you can click on send and you can CC in as many people as you want. But the primary person is the person that agrees to the proposal. Will the email auto update to include the proposal, or will we need a new template? No, the email template will be launched at the same time, so don't worry about that. We're just re-engineering the link in the back end for you. Do we have a timescale for the options point? Without the functionality, this release has a list of additional features that couldn't be fudged through email templates. John, we're not building the free option thing yet. It's really low down on the thing that people are requesting. The more people wanted a proposal rather than free options, so gold, bronze, silver type things. So this is our first release. What we're doing is then listening to feedback like we always have done for the last 3 years. And if there's enough demand for free tier options, then we will look to build it. But it's extremely complex to build. There is a reason that there's very few proposal tools on the market that offer it, and those that do are exceptionally expensive. Dean, is the text editor going to be updated to allow full HTML? Not at the moment, Dean. There's some security issues with that, so we need to be very careful about what we do with full HTML, because you could easily break or close down some security loopholes or open security loopholes without realizing it using HTML. Can it now cope with disbursements not having VAT? No, Alan. I think I've only had like 6 or 7 people mention this to me in 3 years, Alan. So it's very, very rare. And most people charge for confirmation statements plus a service fee on top, which makes it VATable. With this, Paul, can we generate multiple proposals for a single client? No, it's one at a time. So if they decided not to accept this proposal, you can then generate another proposal and send that, but it's one at a time. So we don't break the system. Right, where are we up to? Will we be able to send a proposal on its own at all? No, Cheryl. The idea is the client's just said yes. Why would you want to delay? Okay. If the client's just said, yes, I agree to this proposal, right, let's strike while the iron's hot. Let's get the letter of engagement in front of them. Let's get that signed. Whereas if they accept it on say they accept it Friday night, you come in on Monday and go, oh, they accepted that, send the letter of engagement. They might have rethought about it actually and gone, you know what? Actually, I've decided against it. Because a proposal is not a legally binding tool. So no, the proposal will always be followed up immediately by the letters of engagement. Uh, which CRM system are you considering linking to? None. We are a CRM. We aren't building out into any others at this time. Alistair, Andy T's typing to respond to yours. I think you just need to reach out to support Alistair. Shaheen, can you send an amendment to the letter of engagement? You could create a new document and send that. Once someone has accepted the proposal, you could then edit the doc. Oh no, you can't do that. So yeah, if someone needs it changing, you need to void this and generate a new one, basically. I've already answered that question for Lizzie about bills with proposals, so you can't do that. Roz, are you building in reminders of when previous engagements end? No, most people don't have an end date on their letter of engagement. What I recommend you do is a fee review service, which is in my firm, we tie that to the year end date for the client. And then that gives us a whole workflow where we're reviewing the fees, we're having organizing a meeting with the client, we do the fee chat, and then we send the letter of engagement after that. And in doing that as a service, that sends auto reminders and stuff as well. Do we get any nudge or notifications via email once the client has accepted the proposal or letter of engagement? No, we are against email notifications. It just creates huge overwhelm in your inbox. The idea is that you're in Engager all day or several times a day, and you'll see the notifications at the top, which will notify you immediately once the client has signed up. And if you've already got your email linked, why are you checking your email in Engager to see if you've been notified when you've got a notification, you see? With admin users, how does the proposal LOE fit into the workflow? And is there a way that clients can skip a step? I'm hoping not. No, so you've already got your workflow today of letter of engagement, mandatory. You can opt to make it mandatory that they sign up the direct debit, otherwise they're not accepting the letter of engagement. We're just putting a proposal in front of that letter of engagement. That process is staying as it always has been. We've just got a new document in front of it. Right, would like to see it from the point of view of a client. Right, so if I see it from a point of view of a client, let's do this. Okay, so this is the email the client gets. They can then click on view, review and sign. And this is what the client gets to see. So proposal, letter of engagement, preferences, portal sign up. All of this, what is new is all of this color, this blue, the white and the logo, that's now completely editable to suit your brand and colors. All of the writing up here is now completely editable in settings. And the client can scroll through it all, blah, 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 happy, 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 accept it, type in their name and approve it. And that will then take them straight onto the letter of engagement. Okay, and again, this is all completely editable. So all the white space, the blue space, and all the text up here is now completely editable when it wasn't beforehand. They go through the letter of engagement, they agree to it, so they accept it, type in their name. Now, at this point, it would ask me to sign up to a direct debit because I didn't turn that on for this demonstration. It's not done that. It's asking me about my contact preferences. So I have to submit to emails. Then it asks me to create my portal, but it already recognizes actually this customer's already got a portal, so you don't need to sign up again. And you can press complete. If I then go back into here, refresh this page. So proposal's been accepted. Letter of engagement's not been accepted yet because I stopped halfway through, but that is the client journey. John, can you propose ABC? Not easily, John, no. Mustafa, how would you deal with pretending two proposals, one for financial year and one for current, a previous financial year and one for current? That's where catch-up fees come in. So what I would do is I'd go to this client. I'd go into my service and pricing, and I've already turned everything on here. Then I go to catch-up fees, and I would add my catch-up fees. And I'd say, so the system's automatically calculated, oh, you're 9 months into your financial year, so there's a big catch-up fee here. Well, actually, I want to do the previous year as well. So I want to do 21 months worth of catch-up fees here. At which point it then calculates it, and that would go into the proposal and the letter of engagement itself. Right, I'm just going to try and get to the last of these questions, and I'll jump into the technical stuff because I'm conscious this is taking a while. Do you have your review fee in your new letter of engagement for the following year? I don't quote my review. I send a letter of engagement, which has got the next year's fees in because I've updated them in May. So what I'd have done is for my fee review, I'd go through here, I'd update my fees to reflect the new fees. Then I'd save and generate my letter of engagement, which means I'm sending a letter of engagement with the next year's worth of fees in them. Hopefully that makes sense. Apologies if this has been covered already, may have missed it. Is the proposal tool simply a new feature or will there be additional charge to use it? There's no additional charge. This tool is a new feature that is included in what you're paying today. Will the formatting of the proposal pull through from the letters of engagement, or will I need to edit and create these ourselves? No, so if you've already got one type of format, you'll be able to pull that through nice and easily. There's more questions coming in than I can answer at this rate, guys. If you can just hold off the questions, and because I need to go into the technical detail at some point, and then I'll just answer these last 7 questions and I'll come back, get to the technical detail. Is there any plan for Engager to integrate with Iris TaxFiler? No, because Iris have got their own practice management tool, so they will have no interest in connecting to a competitor, Andrew. You wouldn't integrate to the local accountant down the road, basically. Lizzie, can we save multiple styles of PDF letter of engagement design to choose from? Once saved currently, you can't undo or switch back. No, you have one design at a time, basically, Lizzie, so the system knows what it's doing. Is there a way to build a workflow view which shows all proposals in which stage they are? For example, yes, I'll show you that, Katie, in a moment. How much is the subscription fee for how many letters of engagement? Letters of engagement have always been included in your current monthly subscription. The proposals will be included in the monthly subscription, and there's no limit either. Can we set an expiry date for the proposal to be accepted? You can't, but I always put in my proposals that they're valid for 30 days. And then once a week, I go through any active proposals, see how long they've been active for, and I void them if they're over 30 days. Suggestion from our practice, it would be nice to have the following: proposals, AML checks, letter of engagement, preferences, portal login. So yeah, AML checks is obviously third-party provider. So we need to look at how we do that. But at the moment, that's not a viable option to add AML checks into this onboarding process. But we are looking at how we do it in the future. Cool, that is the questions done. Wow, lots of questions. Okay, so first of all, one of the questions was, how do we know where we're up to with our different statuses and things? We've now got a widget called proposals and letter of engagement. If I click on this, I can see active, inactive, draft, proposal accepted, etc. I can filter this by sent only, draft only, viewed only, active only, and declined only. Okay. So I can see all of this all in one place, nice and easily. So this is the bit that you want to be working through to keep an eye on things. You can see the status date, whether it was signed or rejected, proposal, whether it was included or not, the annual value of that proposal. So maybe you want to work through top to bottom, get the most valuable ones done and work your way down. And you can export this, of course, as a CSV if you want to work with it offline as well. So that's that bit. How do we set up and create letters of engagement? So let's go into settings. And first of all, in document design, so you already had letters of engagement, disengagement, professional clearance, and ad hoc. There's now the proposal one. This is identical to the same tool you've always had for letters of engagement for the last, I don't know how many months now. So you can design your own letter of engagement proposal document and go from there. You can add all your colors. It's all completely customizable as you have already had for the letter of engagement. So one of your first jobs before you use proposals is come in here, make sure this suits you and you've designed it how you want. And if you want to copy that design from the letter of engagement, copy design from letter of engagement, that pulls it all through. So that's the first step. Then we need to edit our template. So if we go to document templates, there's now 4 new templates. We've got proposals for section 1, section 2, section 3, and section 4. So we've broken this down for you so you can work it out a bit more easily. Section 1 is all about intro. So in my firm, this is the bit where I've added some customer testimonials. It's where I've added meet the team, stuff like that. Section 2 is the pricing. So in here, it's where you probably want to explain how you work out the pricing using pricing factors. Then you want to explain the fees, whether you want to use fee summary or fee table, and a list of the services. Then the catch-up fees, that will turn on or off depending on if the client actually has catch-up fees. And then you've got the outro. So this is a next step thing. What to expect if you accept this proposal, how to contact us if you've got any questions about this proposal, stuff like that. Nicola, is this current setup now affected by this change as it was last time? A change was made to the letter of engagement proposals, which cost me a lot of time. No, so this is all stuff that's going on top, so it's not going to cause you any issues whatsoever, and you'll be able to just edit the new templates, edit how you want it to look in the document designer, and go from there. Now, on top of the documents themselves, I said that the bit where your clients land, that viewing page, has got full customization. So let's have a look at what that is now. And that is under signing pages. So you can change all the colors on this here. So you've got all your different colors here. You can add more colors. You can add different images if you want to. So you could replace the logo with another, sorry, no, you can't. You can add the colors from the logo. Okay. So if I want to do that, I could click on this bit here and do it like that, or I can remove some of these if I don't want those colors, etc. This is the main power part though. This is the part that a lot of people are saying, look, we love it, but can we edit the wording at the top, please? So here you go. You can edit it all, and the placeholders also work in here. So it will look like you've written it for the client themselves. So this is where you edit all of this. So I went through that bit quite a lot quicker than I expected, actually. So that's what you need to, so before you start sending proposals, what you're going to need to do is come into the signing pages, edit this to make sure the wording suits you, and use placeholders to personalize. You'll then need to go into document templates as well and edit the 4 templates here. And then you can also go into a proposal document and edit the look and feel of this. Nice and easy. On top of that, of course, you've got your proposal widget as well. So we've got some time. Fire away your questions, guys. Thank you for holding off just long enough so I could focus on getting the rest of the critical information out to you. But also, while you are doing that, I'd love to hear your feedback. So I'm launching a poll of some feedback. Gives you an option to score what you've seen today and also add some words. And please be aware, if you add some comments, we are likely to use them on social media. Right. Zain, can you attach a brochure to the proposal? No, the idea is the proposal is the brochure. Okay. So what you would do, if you've got a brochure at the moment, you take all of that, build that into your templates, and use that as the brochure. Can we turn off the portal sign up to the back page? Yes, if you don't want the clients to sign up the portal, you can turn that off. If you're not sure how to, Vanessa, reach out to us and we'll send you a guide to do that. Do the letters of engagement cover all UK accounting bodies? So we give you a letter of engagement and proposal template. Okay. If you've got a governing body, you need to make sure that those documents meet their requirements and add in anything that they want adding in, or copy their templates and put them into Engager. Most governing bodies will not let us have access to their templates without us paying a premium. And that's why other softwares charge you for providing you with your governing body's templates, when you can get those governing body templates for free from your governing bodies. So if you add, if you want to use your governing body's documents, you need to copy and paste them into the template tool. To be clear, is there one email to send the prospect which will take them through the 4 signing pages? Yes, exactly as there is today. There is one email which is set in the settings. You go to tailor this. Again, you can edit this all you like. So email with acceptance link for proposal and letter of engagement. You can edit this. That's the link that they need. You can add as much to this or as little to this as you want, and press that. And that one link takes them to that landing page I've shown you with all the different steps in it. Do we have to use Adfin for it to allow mandate setup? Yes, Kevin, because Adfin's the only direct debit software we have an integration with. So if you want them to have that slick experience, it's going to have to be Adfin. We don't integrate with others. Paul Whitehouse, how mobile friendly is the proposal process for clients? Is exactly as friendly as it is today. It's a really nice clean page. They can just scroll through it all to the bottom of the page, press accept. Exactly what I've shown you today, just on a smaller screen. It works really well. Any other questions? Cool. Is there a way to preview proposal for mobile? There isn't, because it's exactly what I've just shown you on the preview today, just smaller. The other option is to copy the link. So the other option is when you go to your client, you go to that letter of engagement I suggested, and you press send, and you click on the eye at the top to preview what they're going to see. Copy the link, paste it into your phone's browser, and then you'll see what it's going to look like. No, Laura, if you don't want to use the Adfin, you can turn that off. That's absolutely fine. That will only turn on once you've actually integrated Adfin to your firm. And every time you send a proposal, it asks if it was a new proposal, it will ask you if you want to invite to Adfin or not. So you get to choose on a client by client basis as well. Can we create our own custom signing page? Thando, that's what I've just taken you. So the layout you can't change, but all the content and the colors you can change. Brilliant. Right, I'm going to end that poll. Overall, everybody's very happy with that. Thank you very much. And I'll go backwards. Right, give me 2 minutes. Cool. Right. So one more poll going forwards. Going forwards, will you be using Engager proposals once launched? Yes, no, or will you be counseling another software provider to replace our tool with another one? Wonderful. Lots of people voting, which is fantastic. Cool. John, sorry to ask if already mentioned, but does each letter of engagement signed have a unique reference? No, John, because we don't see the need for a reference number. You can see them all in here. You go to the client, you can see all their letters of engagement in the audit trail now. So there's even less need for a reference number than you would have done beforehand. Done. Sometimes service prices need to be updated mid-year. When a client goes up a band for bookkeeping transactions, we currently send out an updated fee summary. I can't see that we could do this. No, so literally, let me accept this manually. My system's going to go slow because I've got a poll open. Right. Then what I can do is I could go to my client. So I've accepted my letter of engagement. We've been working together for a while. Let's say I'm going to up this fee to £250 for some reason. And they've changed the VAT to monthly. I'm going to save that. Yes. Then I can go into my letter of engagement tool and I can create a new one. I'm just going to create a letter of engagement this time. I'm not going to create a proposal. Okay. So I've now got a draft proposal. If I accept that manually, instead of getting the client to sign it in this case, this becomes the active letter of engagement, and this one now becomes inactive, but you've got, it's all here as a full audit history. Does that make sense? Simon, where do you edit colors? So Simon, in settings. Remember, guys, this webinar will be on the Help Center within the next few hours. Settings, portal, signing pages. And this is where you edit all your colors. I think, Katie, I've just explained that you can just send a letter of engagement instead of a proposal for mid-year pricing. Done that one. Could you run through the notifications again, please? Will we get an email or anything above the normal notification selection again? No, Sam, this is all in Engager. You will get notifications. So here, Dragon Retail has signed your proposal. So you've been notified in Engager, so you can go and see what's going on. Will Zama be part of the proposal LEO direct debit sequence for AML? Eventually, yes, that is the goal. But if we tried to build everything all in one go, you guys would have been waiting for another year for this to be released. So we're releasing this today to see how we get on and to take on feedback and make sure we're evolving in the right direction. Carly, it may seem overkill, but if you ask your insurance provider, they probably expect you're doing this already. Right. Amanda, question isn't related to this, but will you be changing the company house verification code to switch on and off? It's appearing as outstanding. Yes, Amanda, that's on our roadmap. We're looking at doing that now. Right. Is there a way to create a job as part of an onboarding job once the letter of engagement is signed? There isn't at the moment, John. That's automatic. That's a manual job at the moment. Dale, does including a potential client to send a proposal to use one of your subscription licenses, or is this only when the letter of engagement is being accepted? So Dale, you would be sending this to a prospect. We don't charge you for prospects or archived clients. So they'll only become a client, which is chargeable, once they've signed the letter of engagement. Notifications when clients have signed up things. Sometimes I'm waiting for VAT return sign-offs late and night, and it's hard to view on the phone when I'm on the sofa. Will there be a practice app at any point? Yes, there is a practice app on the ideas table that we're looking at. The problem is trying to work out how functional that is. But we've actually had some really exciting developments in that in the last few months. So it's something we keep coming back to and testing with the latest technology that's available. Is there any indication on a client's service section and billing for each service that it matches the signed LOE in or not? There isn't, David, but that's a really good idea. Stick it through on our ideas feature requests and we'll have a look at it. Cool. So the main thing now is, when will this launch? When will this go public? I'm pleased to and excited to tell you that this goes live tonight. So proposals will be available in your domain tomorrow morning. First thing, it'll go live overnight, late tonight. Don't wait up for this, guys. It's not that exciting. But it goes live tomorrow morning or tonight, ready for tomorrow morning. So everything I've just shown you today will be available to you guys tomorrow morning. Sarah's just booked out tomorrow morning in her diary. When I do proposal client letter of engagement, it asks me to buy more client subscriptions. It's probably because you're already at the maximum level for of clients. So that means the system's like, well, hang on a minute, you've not got any client spaces left. So if you're sending out another letter of engagement, then you're going to have to have another client space. And if they accept it without you upgrading your subscription, it'll break the system. They'll get lost in the world of the internet. So the system won't let you send out another letter of engagement unless there's at least one space free. Cool. Alistair, yes, and we will be putting this webinar live into the Help Center as soon as it's ready. So we'll let you know. Okay, guys, any final questions? Faith, how can I see how many clients, chargeable clients I have? So Faith, you go to settings and you go to subscription, it tells you how many client slots you've got and how many you've got available and how many are left. So it's nice and easy for you to see there. Cool. And remember, guys, when this launches tonight, your letters of engagement stay as they are. All your templates stay as they are. And if you've not had time, say you get to tomorrow, oh, I need to send a letter of engagement. I've not built my proposals. That's not an issue because all you need to do is just click on the tool, click on your proposal bit. And when you go create a new, just say, actually, I just want the letter of engagement because I've not prepared my templates for proposals yet. Okay. Nice and easy. Fantastic. Any final questions, guys? Thank you very much for joining us and for it being such a, I mean, I've not even looked in the comments. It's been, oh my God, there's hundreds. I will read through the comments after this session. And if there's anything that Andy T or I haven't answered already, we will come back to you. But yeah, hopefully you're really happy with what we're releasing. Hopefully you're excited by the fact it's there tomorrow morning. And yeah, so one question from Sarah is, what's the customize button? So if I just delete this one. So the customize button is just the ability to customize the letter of engagement if you know you're going to do that immediately. So click on customize. It'll pull in the templates, but it allows you to edit it first time instead of going in and pressing edit it later. And hopefully, guys, this is a good enough tool. I mean, I think it is, to replace the majority of the features that dedicated proposal tools have and save you all a fortune. As I say, this is being launched tomorrow morning, included in the price. So yeah, hopefully everyone's on board with this. We are fully aware there's other things people want. People want free tier pricing. People want all this extra stuff, and that's great. But the more we try and build in first time round, the longer it takes, and we might go in the wrong direction. So what we like to do is launch this. This is what we class as a phase one. Well, phase two, letters engagement of phase one, really. And at some point, we'll come back to it, review it, look at all the feedback in the roadmap and stuff, and we'll add more features to it in the future. But that's not going to happen in the next few weeks and months. We need to see how everyone's using it. We need to get lots of data and analytics. We need to look at any pain points where it goes wrong, not wrong, but where it doesn't work for people's workflows, build all of that information up, and then we'll carry on and do another phase of this. Cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me on this session. I appreciate it's a Monday, and Monday's not always the best day, but we had an inkling it would be ready for tomorrow morning. So we wanted to do the webinar today and to show you it all. So thank you very, very much. Oh, Jitten, when do you plan to add the AML part? We've not got any timelines on that, Jitten, at the moment. There's lots going on in the AML world, like around companies' house ID verification and stuff. That's AML providers' main focus at the moment. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and I hope to see you all later this week on the weekly live at 7:30. If you've not got a link for that, for the weekly live, I don't know if Andy's got one to put in the comments, but check out the Facebook group or drop us an email and we'll send you a link. So thank you very much, everybody, and have a great week. Goodbye.